So today we got Chris Haynes, legendary,
Yeah,
my man. But I don't think a lot of people know like your upbringing, how you came up, how was it growing up in California?
yeah, Fresno. Fresno. Many people don't visit Fresno. It's not one of the main attractions of California. Usually, you think of California, you think of Los Angeles or maybe the Bay Area. But where I grew up in Fresno, I didn't really roam too much outside of the area of Fresno. So the west side of Fresno was just predominantly black, Hispanic, and some Asians.
Mm.
And so growing up, I stayed within that environment, and I didn't, just my way of life. I thought differently back then, based off of the environment, based off of what I seen, based off of what I thought success was.
Mm.
That's pretty much like that's a theme of my life. Like as I've grown and evolved, I started to see that success meant something else, especially for black people. You know what I'm saying? So it was tough, man. Like I lost a lot of people. Funerals are pretty routine, you know, and this is probably too much, but like, I talk to my wife about this all the time. Like, death is something that's been in my life since I was probably 6 years old. Man, it seemed like we were always going to a funeral, and every weekend, and it wasn't funerals for old people.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So, death is always something that I've always had a tough time dealing with, processing. But at a certain point, all those things of Fresno, there's great things about it. There's great things about the city that made me, to help shape me and mold me to what I am today. But there's also some heartaches of that city that I've dealt with, continue to deal with, because there's still shit going on over there uh, that's never left. But I love the city,
Mm.
and it helped mold me.
Would you say like, because you always been in sports and basketball, would you
Mhm.
say that was kind of like kind of navigate you
Yeah,
along
I
Cali?
got, I got. I don't want to say too much, but I got family ties that are Crip affiliated
Mm-hmm.
back in Fresno,
Mm-hmm.
and like if I was going to go, I'm not gonna call no sets out or anything like that. But if I was going to go that route, like I would have went there.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a cousin who I'm not gonna name, but I
Mm-hmm.
have a cousin who is, he's been, he's been connected um, ever since he was 14, 15, and he is 7 years older than me, and he's a high-ranking, member,
Mm-hmm.
and I always thought he would bring me in growing up. Like I always thought he would. He
Mm-hmm.
never did. He never, when I would see him, he would keep it, he'd keep it light, maybe give me a little bit of money here and there, but he would never try to bring me over.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other folks he was associated with, that's with him in the set,
Mm-hmm.
they would know, like not to mess with him,
Mm-hmm.
like don't try to, not him.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't, I was a late bloomer in basketball, so I can't say they did it because they saw a basketball future in me. But I just think my cousin, just understanding the lifestyle and knowing me, he didn't want to see me in that type of a situation. So, I have to credit him for keeping me away from that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I would just say, like, the tough part about growing up like that is that I had no, I what I seen success was my cousin. That was success.
Mm-hmm.
Because I seen him have money. I seen him have the cars.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I didn't know all the different shit that he had to go through on a day-to-day basis just living that life.
Mm-hmm.
But that was success. Like, the hustlers,
Mm-hmm.
that was success to me.
Mm-hmm.
My uncle, what he did, I ain't put him out there, but what he did, that was success. So it's like, it took, we could get to that later, but it took me getting out to see, like, damn, like how black folks really live. Like, bro, I hated the Cosby Show growing up.
Growing up.
I hated the Cosby Show. because I didn't see black people like that. The Cosby Show got Bill Cosby is a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
His wife, well, she's a lawyer.
Yeah.
She's an attorney.
Yeah.
Their parents went to a black college.
Mm.
Then those two went to a black college. And then their kids, what is it, like 5 or 6 of them?
Yeah.
They end up going to college.
Yeah. Yeah.
That didn't resonate with me. Like, that's not the way I saw life,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean, for my people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I didn't see that. So I didn't think those type of families existed.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I didn't like it. I didn't like the Cosby Show. It took me later on to see, damn, black folks really do live like this? Like, what?
Mm-hmm.
And so that was pretty much like, just my mindset growing up and the limitations I had on just life and what you can be in general. Bro, I didn't have people. My family didn't go to college.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? My parents were high school graduates. That was it. My cousins, all gangbang.
Mm-hmm.
My friends, single parent households and all that stuff. Like college, it was rare. I grew up in a 2-parent household.
Yeah.
My wife didn't. She didn't meet her dad till she was like 28. So it was just unrealistic. The living nice, like that, living nice on a legit way. Your father is a doctor, mother is an attorney, kids going to college, and being married and staying together. Yeah. That didn't resonate with me.
In high school, when you got in, because you hooped in high school.
Yeah, I hooped in high school.
Did they because you said you were going to take you were stinging to your cousins, right? But they never let you get in that.
Yeah.
How did you stay focused, hooping and not getting involved, even during tough moments?
Yeah, when I was hooping, it was a little bit more emphasis of just stay off him, make sure he's on a keeping his head up.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, yeah, basketball and any one thing I hate about us is that, man, it's like a lot of times we grow up in poverty situation, grow up in the hood or whatever. It seemed like, man, for us, it seemed like the only outlets you have are sports or rapping. There's way more options out there, but we're limited to those options. Let me tell you a story. Peak game. I got straight F's. Elementary, junior high, and high school. Sprinkle a couple D's and C's here and there. But for the most part, straight F's.
Yeah.
Wasn't because I was stupid, but I was just dealing with a lot of shit, man. Like, my mind wasn't there in school. So I say this. So in elementary, there's these classes called gate classes. And what that means is these are all your honor roll students all in one class. So each year, these gate classes would go to Washington, D.C. every year. And it was like a big thing coming from where we come from, Fresno, bro. Like, we don't go outside. Like, L.A. is even far. Like, that's a 4-hour drive to Bay. Most people from Fresno stay in Fresno. So to be an elementary student going to D.C., where the White House is at, where the president is at, like, that's a big honor. But only the gate classes would go. Again, these are students that have 3.0s or higher.
Yeah.
So I never could go. I always wanted to go. And I never went, and that always bothered me. Think about this. And I'm not trying to big up myself or not, but I'm pretty sure I turned out better than most people that was in those gate classes.
You definitely did.
Had I at sixth grade, what's that, 10, 11, 12, whatever, had I at that age went to Washington, D.C., seeing black people wearing suits, seeing black people wearing, holding briefcases, going to court, and they ain't going to jail. They going because they're attorneys, they're lawyers, they're judges. Me being able to see that at 10, 11 years old, I felt like it would have changed my trajectory on life, or just changed how I view life, because I didn't see shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, but those type of opportunities shouldn't be just given to the ones who are 11, 12 years old who got 3.0s, whatever. Because you're giving up on the ones who are struggling. Some people are late bloomers, whether that's basketball, athletics, academics. Some people are late bloomers. It took me a while to figure things out. So just because I couldn't figure things out at 11 and 12 years old, I shouldn't have been disallowed to go to something that can impact my life.
Mm.
So that's another thing. Like if you don't see things at an early age, you don't know what's out there.
That's true.
You know, so that's the thing. That's for me. That's how growing up in Fresno was. I had limited options, and when you have limited options, you think the only thing you can do is rap or play basketball. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
If you don't want to go to game bang life or go sell drugs or be a pimp or whatever. And there's so many more options out there, but you don't know unless you get exposed.